Hey guys, ECRG here, back with another episode. The title of today's episode is about staying healthy while traveling as a CRA. So, of course, as you guys know, CRAs travel a ton for work, and really, this episode, a lot of the people that maybe travel a lot, like salespeople, executives, can really, think about what I'm saying in this episode. This is going to apply to you also. Really, this is for people that travel a lot, not just CRAs. But because CRAs travel a lot, usually every week, sometimes multiple times a week, depending on it, one of the things that you want to keep in track of and make sure that you are paying close attention to is your health, and making sure that, even though you're traveling a lot, that does provide a lot of wear and tear on your body. How can you make sure that you are being healthy and are going to be able to sustain that kind of punishment that your body's taking for the long haul? Because it is tough. It does get grueling. But mainly when I think about health, a lot of people think about working out and diet. So of course we're going to talk about that. But also there's some things that you may not have thought about that could be repercussions for traveling so much. So I have one of those things I'm going to talk about kind of towards the end of this. But the first thing I'll let you guys know about for those that are looking to get into the industry, maybe become a CRA one day, is the resume review program. You've heard me talk about it before. That's still going on. So if you are wanting to improve your resume, whether you're trying to level up, maybe you're a project specialist looking to be a CRA, you need some help on your resume and crafting it, and maybe you need some interview preparation also, we can do that for you. So give me an email, eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com for that. And if you have any questions, you can email me there about it. So one of the things when staying healthy on the road is working out. So that's probably the first thing that comes to people's minds is working out. And the great thing about it is you're staying at these hotels, you're staying at a major chain, most likely Hilton, Marriott, Hyatt, Omni, depending on where you stay and what location you're staying at. But these hotels have gyms. Every single hotel I've stayed at has a gym, or they have a relationship with a nearby gym to let them use that gym facility for free, included with your stay. So I've seen it where maybe the gym is going under renovations. So they're like, okay, you can go to this gym around the corner for free since you're staying at our hotel. So that's something to keep in mind. Every hotel has a gym. Now, how good the gym is, that's up for debate. A lot of times they'll just have a few treadmills in there and dumbbells up to 50. So a lot of times, unless you're really, really creative, you're not going to get, the kind of workout you're used to at home, at your at-home gym. But that's all right. You just kind of do the best you can. So a lot of times I go in there, run on the treadmill, or I'll do the elliptical, or I'll do some pull-ups or something along those lines. But that's something to keep in mind, that every hotel has a gym. But also one of the great things I like doing personally is going around the city. And while I do like to walk around whatever city I'm in, whether it be New York City, whether it be New Orleans, whatever city I'm in, if I'm staying downtown, I'm definitely going to walk around that city. That's a great way to find things. So you can walk, or a lot of people like to run. That's a great way to work out too. Bring your running shoes and get around the city. That's one of the best ways to learn about the city, learn about where things are, learn about how to get your directions in that city. So that's something to think about too. And then, the last thing, a lot of companies will allow you gym reimbursement. So if you're on the road and you want to go to the gym, and not the hotel gym, but a better gym, so a lot of times they will let you go to that gym and reimburse it back to the company. Get a day pass, $10, $20, $30, however much it is. So that's something also that's great to take advantage of. And, your company may have it and you may not even realize it. So that's something to ask about if you're a CRA or you travel a lot. And it's specifically going to be for people that travel a lot. If you're traveling once a month, they're not going to do that. But if you're traveling every week or multiple times a month, yeah, they'll do that for you. Or maybe they will do it if you're once a month traveling. But I meant to say like once a quarter or something, or once a year. Just to draw that comparison. A lot of people hesitate about working on the road because they're like, what do I do with my clothes? You get the clothes all sweaty and dirty, and you want to put that back in there, especially if you have to go on another trip right after. Do you want those clothes to be dirty from that? No. So obviously you want to bring plastic bags and use that to separate those kind of clothes from your other clothes. But a lot of times, space is of the essence when you're traveling as a CRA. You don't want to check a bag. You want to bring a bag to put on the plane in the overhead. So you bring a small size bag, and you don't necessarily want to bring workout clothes for every single day. So one of the tips that I've learned to do is right after you work out, when your clothes are fresh and sweaty, you wash them in the sink and let them air dry in the room. So that cuts down on the smell, because the smell happens from, your sweat drying in your clothes and then being there over time. So what you do is you wash it. You can hand wash it. You can do a little soap or just use water, hand wash it, and let it hang dry in the bathroom or out on the balcony or just in your room above the air conditioning. So that's a great way to cut down the smell. I typically only bring, one pair of workout clothes, and I'll use that for a couple of days using that method. So you're not packing a bunch of stuff. So that's a great tip that I found out that a lot of people should know. So I might do it. I might do its own separate episode just on that tip. That's how much I use that tip. So the next thing I want to talk about when traveling and trying to stay healthy on the road is diet. So for those people that work out, they know that 80% of your physique and your goals and gains are going to be based on your diet. A lot of people would say even more than that, like 90%. Most of it is not the actual working out. That's just a part of it, but the diet is the much bigger part. So, how do you do your diet? I mean, a lot of times on the road, you're running, you're rushing, you can only get to the McDonald's in the airport, or if there's something near your hotel, there's not many great options a lot of times, especially if you're in a city, a very, very small city, out far away from the big city. There's not going to be as many options as you're used to in your hometown or in a major city. So how do you get around this? So one thing to always think about and download is, some of those apps like DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats. I particularly use Uber Eats and Postmates. I've heard a lot of good things about DoorDash. Each city is different, how much they're going to have on each app. So the app is going to be different in every city, what restaurants are on there and the quality. I've heard good things about DoorDash, but as currently standing, I use a lot of Uber Eats, and occasionally I use Postmate, but most of the time I'm using Uber Eats. So that's one thing. Second thing to think about is a grocery store. You are allowed to go to the grocery store when you're a CRA. Confirm with your manager, but most of the time they will approve it. Just make sure it's an itemized receipt. So you can buy, your water. You could buy groceries if you want to cook your own food in your room. If you have one of those rooms, like a suite or something that has a kitchen, you are allowed to do that a lot of times. I don't do that. I like eating out too much. But you are capable of doing that too. So if you want to do that, you also might be able to bring your meals from home and just expense those groceries. I just thought about that. I have never done that. But a lot of times people like to bring their own meals. Like some really, really fit people like to bring their own meals. And I have heard of them doing that also. The next thing you want to think about is restaurants. Restaurants aren't the healthiest usually. So, watch what you're eating at the restaurant. That's something that, you can do in your daily life too, but especially gets really, really hard when you're on the road. Because you get a nice large per diem, $75, $100, $125, depending on what city you're in. And you can buy a lot of food with that. So you want to make sure that you are being careful. Or if you're splurge, make sure that's not every day. That's not all the time. Because things can get crazy. But, that's one of the joys of going on the road. So a lot of times I will splurge more on the road. And then when I'm back home, I'll get right back on my diet, my clean, healthy meals. So I do pretty much all of my meal splurging when I'm on the road. So that's something to think about too, what kind of restaurants you're going to. You do have that per diem, so make sure that you're using it. And, they're not really particular about which restaurants or places you're going to. So make sure you can choose some of the healthier, better options when you're going there. And you are given a per diem, as I mentioned before. A lot of CRAs already know that. So make sure you use that and stay healthy and try your best to stay healthy. But the thing I mentioned earlier in the episode about, some of the things that lack when you're traveling so much, and a lot of people don't think about this because, you may not realize it, but cooking at home takes a huge suffering when you're on the road a lot. So just imagine you are a CRA. Well, you were originally home-based before, didn't travel. you worked in the office, so you're there 7 days a week. So you could buy groceries on Monday. If you didn't eat it on Tuesday, you'd eat it Wednesday. If you didn't eat it on Wednesday, you'd eat it Thursday. But either way, you had many opportunities to eat it. Well, imagine you're a CRA now, and you're home Monday, so you go grocery shopping, you buy groceries for the week, but you have a trip Tuesday through Thursday, so you get back Tuesday through Thursday. Now that's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's three. No, that's actually 3 days that you are not seeing that food or going to be eating that food. But when you bought food for the whole week, so that's something that happens a lot. Is your food ends up going bad because you're constantly traveling. Now think about it. Friday when you get back, you may not feel like cooking. You may feel like going out with friends and eating out that day. So that could be a potentially another day where you're not eating that food, and that food could be bad depending on how it's stored at that point, or it could be unappetizing by that point. So a lot of times cooking at home takes a huge hit when you're a CRA, especially if you have another trip right after that. You could be leaving on Sunday again, or you may have another trip that week and not be coming back Friday night, and then you're back Saturday. And then maybe you don't want to cook and eat on Saturday because you have another trip coming up and you leave on Sunday. So this happened a lot of times where I'm only here back for one day, and don't feel like cooking. Why waste my time cooking or when I'm just going to be gone? And a lot of times the food goes bad. So you end up eating out a lot when you're at home just because you don't feel like going to the grocery store and cooking up that food. So that happens a lot too when you're a CRA that a lot of people don't think about. Just the overall not feeling like cooking or your food going bad. I like to eat a lot of vegetables when I'm at home. So vegetables, if you guys know, my vegans and vegetarians out there, you know that those vegetables go bad super fast. So you've got to eat them or they will go bad. So that happens all the time. One tip you can do is to cook everything once and then freeze it. But that's easier said than done. A lot of times you're getting something for like 1 or 2 meals and you don't think about that. So that's just something to think about, how to stay healthy while traveling as a CRA. CRA is a great position, and I'm very, very glad I've been a CRA. And I love it. I love the flexibility. I love, not being tied to an office. I love a lot of things about it. But some of the things that are challenging is being able to stay healthy while you're on the road and traveling as a CRA, especially because it is a lifestyle. It's not a particular 9-to-5 job. It's a lifestyle job. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Let me know if you want me to do more healthy tips that I've picked up while on the road. Email me at eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com for any questions you may have, or you can comment down below in the comments if you're listening on YouTube. So take care, guys.